Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill Buwit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about tax lien investing explained. Yesterday, we talked about tax deeds. Today, we're going to talk about tax liens. Jill is just as underwhelmed today about this as she was yesterday.
It is. They are really good. It's good. I mean, when you get going, if you're looking for another way to find some properties inexpensively, roll them in. These are all good things. And you should, no matter what, know about them. So when you see transactions come through, you see a treasurer's deed, you know what it is and things like that.
So in our little investing operation, Jill learns about it once it hits our system. She doesn't know how it gets there. I mean, she's more involved in it than that, but she doesn't care.
Back in the day, how about that?
So stuff hits the system, hits the CRM, and it's in an acquisition process.
Right.
It could be a lien, a tax lien. It could be a tax deed. I mean, chances are it's from a mailer. Like 90% of them are from the mailer. But once in a while, a lien foreclosure, like we're going to talk about here in a second, or a tax deed hits it, and the profit margins on those are extraordinary.
Right.
It takes a lot more effort and a lot more time. And quite honestly, a lot more raw IQ score to get through the tax deed and tax lien process as it does to send out mail. But the point is, she doesn't care. She just has something to sell. And she sees how much it costs. And she's like, well, yep, I can sell it for more than that.
Last time I checked, because that's your role. It's perfect. We have a beautiful thing. That's your thing.
We have a beautiful thing together,
we
Jill
do.
and I.
But no, honestly, I know about them. I know how to do them, but I don't do them. That's kind of your side of the sheet. My side of the sheet is all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, before we get into it, let's take a question, a very, very lengthy question, intentionally, posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Lou asks, hi all. I just downloaded my first data set. Yay. The only problem is that there are no mailing addresses on the spreadsheet. Did I do something wrong? Luckily, this county had only 500 people that met my criteria, so I'm only wasting $50. But I would much rather get a list with mailing addresses in the future and not waste any money. Any advice is appreciated. Thank you, Lou. So, and one of our people, one of our moderators, Kevin, responded right away. Lou, that is a real disappointment. In the future, you should spot check the data before downloading by clicking on a few of them at random and then copy the APN. You could look up each sample and make sure that the mailing address is included in the assessor data. Some counties have really bad data. That's the point here. And some counties may withhold mailing addresses. So it's real.
That's exactly right. And then there's one more comment here, but the fact is this: RealQuest and DataTree and everybody else, Title Pro 24/7, they're data aggregators. That's what they do. They don't create the data.
Right.
They don't have somebody sitting there spot checking data. They get a data feed from all 3,144 counties. And the data comes in all different formats. Jill and I have had meetings with the people at the executives in all of these companies. That's why we're licensed providers. And they all have stories about, oh yeah, Arkansas sends a handwritten note. Or we had to finally put a guy in the county in Arkansas to manage the data because it's so loosey-goosey. So there's a lot of different reasons why this might happen. And, our moderator's exactly right. You have to check this stuff before you download it, or else it's going to be datafied. You got to kiss the girl before you marry her, man.
The data is only as good as what the assessors input. And so often they're real people.
Yeah.
And that's it. They might put stuff in wrong. So now and then things happen.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to read what Daniel wrote.
Yeah.
So Daniel, one of our members, also responded. Lou, I just did that very same thing. I forgot to check the data in a rushed mailer, and I was trying to get out before we went on vacation.
We've all been there
I'm
too.
sure many others have done the same thing. I just pulled another county and got it in the mail, and now I'm lying in bed in the evening, scraping the tax site for addresses to paste into my data. Hopefully it pays out, since I would think it's an untapped county. That's another way to look at it too, by the way. So if you pass on that county and then someone like Daniel here is sitting here inputting the addresses because he doesn't think anybody else is doing the work, there might be something there.
I mean, talk about making lemonade out of lemons.
Exactly.
That's brilliant, actually.
I would actually.
That's dedicated.
The only thing I would do differently is hire someone else to input that for you overnight while you're sleeping for much less money if you really want to do that.
You're probably doing this on vacation too.
Yeah.
I've done mailers on vacation. Just ask Jill.
Maybe he's avoiding vacation with people because of this. Sorry, baby, I got to do this. What do you think pays for this vacation, baby?
Before Jill and I started Land Academy, we used to come out, we live here now, but we used to come out to the beaches of Los Angeles here. And there were several times where Jill went to the beach when our kids were little. And I went to the library all day.
Yeah.
And they never understood that.
And
I
sometimes
don't think
both
they
of us did.
actually fully recovered from that ever.
There were times we were out here with no kids. Remember that? We used to have a thing. Our deal was 4 o'clock wheels up.
Yep.
We would both go do our work. And our deal was meet in the driveway on your bike at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was fun.
It was good.
Those are good. Those are the good old days, Jill.
Uh-huh.
We were working hard. I mean, we work pretty hard now, but.
We should do that today.
Yeah.
4 o'clock wheels up.
I like it.
That was our thing.
Right, let's do that again. Today's topic, tax lien investing explained. This is the meat of the show. I promised yesterday I would name the states, tax lien states and tax deed states, and I forgot. So I'm going to do it right now. This is a list of the tax deed states. The states are either one or the other. In a very rare cases like Texas and Arizona, they're both. They're called redeemed deed states. And this is way beyond the scope of this conversation, but all you need to know for this is that the state is either a lien state or a deed state. Here are the tax deed states from yesterday: Alaska, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Kansas, Maine, Michigan, Missouri, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Washington, and Wisconsin. And all the other states are lien states. When liens fail to get sold, they become deeds. So in theory, every state's a deed state. And there's a lot of people that could disagree with that, but we're talking about liens today. Here's how tax liens work. It all starts with people not paying their taxes. Like we talked about yesterday, there's a lot of reasons for this. But it all centers around either the fact that they passed away or whoever owns the property doesn't believe that it's worth the amount of taxes any longer. Or they're just lazy or drunk or some reason. They just stopped paying taxes.
Why does drunk come in? Maybe they had a life-change event. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe something big happened.
Okay, that's good too.
They're not just drunk in the corner.
Well, maybe they had a 360-day bender and they didn't stop paying the taxes.
All right. Oh, man.
So what happens is they start to get notices, just like a tax deed state, notices and notices and notices from the tax deed authority. I would very highly recommend you listening to yesterday's show to fill in the pieces for this one. And the liens, the taxing authority places a lien on the property. I, as an investor, if Jill owns a piece of property, she stops paying the taxes, they place a lien on her property. I, as an investor, can go purchase that lien. I'm not buying the property. I'm just purchasing the lien. And so what does that mean? I essentially paid her back taxes for her to the taxing authority. So now they're happy. They're like, yeah, man, that actually worked. Yeah. We got our money. And so the onus is on me to do one of two things. Get her to pay me the taxes, because I'm going to get a real healthy interest rate on top of what I paid, plus administrative fees. It's like if you bought a piece of stock and it went up, that's what would happen. So it's the equivalent of that. Think about it like that. If I can't find her, which happens 95% of the 99% of the time, or I don't care, I foreclose on the lien to own the property, which is a tax foreclosure judicial action in the court system. So I have two choices: find her and get my money, or foreclose on the property and own it. So this whole, late night TV infomercial, because you can't sleep because you want to be a real estate investor, you're watching that stuff and you got these beautiful pictures of you can be a millionaire in days.
Right.
I bought this house for $4,000. I bought this building for just the back tax amount. All of that is true. Mm-hmm. All of it. And we've done all of it and do all of it. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole concept of tax lien investing. You pay somebody's taxes without their consent, and you foreclose on the property and you own it. So, wow, it sounds great. How do I get started? Oh, that's great, Steve. How easy is that? It's a lot more complicated than that. And there's huge data. The data component to this is massive.
Right.
There's huge lists. There's really useless property in every single one of these lists. Some of the properties could have accumulated IRS liens and all kinds of stuff that it's in each state to make it worse is different. So you got to understand the rules.
It's a lot of steps.
So again, this is why we seriously recommend sending out mail and blind offers to everybody.
Right.
And, which if you don't know by now, our constituency in our group has crazy, incredible success with. You're probably just brand new, and that's okay. But tax lien investing from a money standpoint and a markup standpoint, it can be incredibly profitable and fun. Who doesn't like to make $30,000 on a piece of land that you paid $800 for?
Right.
We're doing a deal right now, a tax lien foreclosure that looks like it's going to happen. And we'll be all into it after fees and everything for about $1,800. This is with title insurance at the end. And it's probably worth $100. We'll easily get probably $30,000 out of it. And the person we sell it to is going to make a ton of money. That's tax liens. Do you have any questions on it?
No, it's such an interesting concept that I don't know people believe that it really happens, but it's really true. At the end of the day, the worst case scenario is to avoid foreclosure, the person who owns a property is going to ante up and reimburse you, and you get all your money back plus a percentage plus what you said, like the admin fees and things like that. There's rules of what they have to follow to wipe out that lien, and
all the legal fees in Arizona anyway. You can recoup your legal fees
if you start down the foreclosure process. So you do get reimbursed. So the only thing about these is it does take time. I mean, these are 6 months easy deals by the time you own it. So that's the only thing.
There's lawyers involved and
you have
legal
to plan
process.
for. Yeah. So if you don't have the money or the time or the energy to spend 6 months on that, this is not where you want to be. That's why sending out mail, and you could be cash flowing in 30 days.
That's right.
And that's what we do.
Or you could do both, which is really what we do.
That's exactly right.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. We know your time is valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today anyway. Join us next time for the episode called The Benefits of Networking at Live Events and Online Webinars.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Cool.
That's a good overview.
Do you know what I was going to say?
Tax liens and tax deeds.
I have a story about someone I knew that did a 360-day bender. Not kidding.
Okay, I want to hear this.
you
I hope it's not about me.
No, it's not you. No, I dated a surgeon one time.
This is great stuff.
This is really good. So I dated a surgeon who had a very good business. Well, there was a problem. He basically something changed in his business, and he decided to cash out and walk away. And he walked away with a lot of money in the bank, right? So he went and checked himself into a hotel in Mexico for about a year and pretty much was on a 360-day bender, and then decided after years, like, all right, this is not how I'm going to die. I can't, I can't live like this. I got to get back and on my feet. And even though he could afford not to, he decided to get back in and start doing something else. So I met him after the 300. I met him after that. It was just kind of funny. But he was telling me a story about how he really went and disappeared. So
I have several questions.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
How did this relationship start with you and the surgeon, and how did it end?
It started, when I met him, because he was just doing something to keep busy, basically like handyman stuff. Not kidding.
Red flag.
Showed up to fix a wall in my house.
Okay. This doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
I'm not kidding.
Why would he be a handyman if he's a surgeon and all this money in the bank?
Just something to do. He was just looking for something to keep himself busy and fix some walls. I don't know.
Don't buy it.
All right. Anyway.
Wanted to meet a pretty girl.
Okay.
And it worked.
Anyway, which is actually partial. Maybe that's true, because he ended up, as he's fixing the wall, asking me out for dinner.
Yep.
So
keep going.
All right. Well, it was only a couple months. No, you know what else? He was a former pro hockey
Oh, of
player.
course, yeah.
So there might have been
He's the vice president of the United States, too.
No, he really was. I'm serious. I'm not going to go any further about that. I was a former pro hockey player too, so I'm not going to say who or where, but maybe there was a head injury involved
Yeah.
too. So anyway,
He's a former NHL surgeon fixing your wall.
no, he was a hockey player who went into the military and then became a surgeon.
Oh, he's military, too.
Yeah, that's true. I'm serious.
All right, good.
I'm not kidding. So yeah. Anyway, let's leave it at that.
I think you missed the boat there.
No,
You're your dream guy.
No.
So
I
how
did
did it
not.
end?
No, I didn't. Way too OCD for me.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
All right,
Way
there's some
too
truth anyway.
OCD for me. I couldn't do it. There's no way. I think it was the surgeon in him. Like everything had to be really perfect. And I mean, we're talking sterilized,
Oh,
and I'm like,
What fun is that?
that's not me. It'll never work. So, yeah.
It just makes like
Make
30
you laugh.
jokes.
Hey,
In the filth pit that we live in makes sense now.
as Jack hacks up on the microphone, just kidding. And I'm over here sick too. This is great. We clearly don't have that in our house. Oh man. All right. Wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are
Here's
Steve and
Jill.
Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.